Guess what I have? I have the new iPhone 14 Pro. And I know what you're thinking, but you're wrong. I haven't bought a phone in maybe 7 years, something like that. Let's just put it this way. The last phone I bought before this one was an iPhone 8. 8! It's an antique. Why am I telling you this? Because each and every one of you have one of the best tools to improve your game right away, right in your pocket. In fact, about 65% of you are holding it in your hand right now. Have you watched yourself shoot pool on the phone? Because it's very difficult to get really good at this game without personal instruction. Because you need someone to look at what you're doing and tell you what you're doing wrong so that you can fix it. Personal instruction is not cheap. You can do certain things right now, though, that will improve your game. And for some of you, we're talking 25% improvement overnight. If you're a beginner and I tell you what to look for and you fix it, your game is going to change overnight. You have no idea how many people could not draw the cue ball back to this rail from here, and now they're shooting it from there 2 weeks after getting my instruction. It does not take a lot sometimes to get you from one step to the other because you may already have the tools, you just might not be using them properly. So let's talk about what you should do. First, set your phone up and get yourself a little tripod if you can. What's a little tripod look like? Hold on a second, I'll be right back. When it comes to small tripods, this is what most people that are making videos, especially for YouTube, are using. You can get a little adapter that goes on top of this, and all it does is hold an iPhone or whatever kind of phone you have. You will prop this up on a table most likely, put your phone on it, turn it on, get an angle where you can see your entire table and yourself, or if you're at a pool hall, the entire table and yourself at the pool hall, find that table, there's always one. You are going to record yourself for about 4 or 5 minutes. That's all you need. In fact, 3 or 4 minutes for a lot of you will be more than what you need. And I'm going to tell you the things that you need to look for. First off, let me qualify this. There's a lot more that you need to do properly than I'm going to cover right now. I'm going to give you the things that are very easy to identify so that you can fix them. Number one, your stance. Do you look balanced in your stance? You look off balance in your stance? Are you off balance in your stance? If you have your legs in the wrong position, if you're turned sideways, if anything looks really out of line for you, then it is probably really out of line. Are you lined up with the shot? Is your arm and your elbow and everything in a straight line, or is your elbow swinging out during your shot? You want to have them as close to correct as you can so that when things break down later, it's easier to fix. Ask yourself, what does my bridge look like? Does it look like it makes sense? Is my cue moving around? Do I have an open bridge that is causing me to lift the cue up during my shot? Maybe a closed bridge would be better for you. It's very difficult to lift a bridge up during your shot if you have a closed bridge. If you insist on having an open bridge, you need to insist on having a very good stroke and keeping the cue down. Where are your eyes on the shot? Are you looking at the cue ball, which is probably a no-no for most people? Most of us are taking our eyes back and forth from the cue ball to the object ball, landing on the object ball and then shooting it in. I do understand why beginners may be looking at the cue ball because that's your target right now. You want to hit the cue ball in the right spot, and if you miscued a few times, you probably don't want that to happen again. But where are your eyes on the execution of that shot? Are you jumping up? Are you getting down on the shot, and as you shoot the shot, you're moving your entire body up? You want to keep your body as still as possible and stay still until that cue ball and or object ball has run its path. Some of these things are going to surprise you. You can spot them early so that you don't get in the habit of doing them for like 30 years, like yours truly. Look for these things. Are you staying down on the shot? Are you following through? Is your cue passing through the shot, especially on your draw shot? That might be the only reason you don't have a good draw shot. Are you throwing the cue up? On your shot or on your break, is the cue rising up in the air? Are you hitting the ball too hard? A lot of people don't realize how hard they're hitting the ball until they actually see themselves shooting it and they see it on video. We are too close to our own problems. We don't know that we're doing it. Are you stepping into the shot or are you moving sideways? Are you one of those people that shoots 5 and 6 shots in a row and you haven't put chalk on the stick? You don't even realize you haven't done it. If you're not putting chalk on your cue each and every shot, you're already doing something wrong. But if you're not going to do it every shot, and some of you take pride in not putting chalk on your tip. But I had a guy say, what am I, some kind of wannabe pro chalking up after every shot? No, you're a guy that's not an idiot that doesn't want to miss cue because he wouldn't do this. I'll do that 1,000 times if it will help me make a shot. And some of you are miscuing and you don't know it. What does that mean? How can I be miscuing and don't know it, Brian? I'll tell you how. You don't have enough chalk on your tip. You're trying to shoot a draw shot, but there's not enough friction to put backspin on this ball. So you hit it hard and you still don't draw it back, and you don't understand why. Because it didn't grip, it slid off the ball. Why did it slide off the ball? Because you didn't have any chalk on your tip. You do not have to send this ball flying across the air and off the table to miscue. You're miscuing all the time. People say all the time, Brian, I can't put all that spin on the ball that you're putting on there. You know what? If you don't have any chalk on your tip, you're not going to put the spin on there. It's gliding off the side of the ball. And that's why you're either missing shots, you can't put spin on them, you can't shoot a forced follow, you can't shoot a draw shot, and you end up hitting the ball too hard because none of these things are working for you. So that's my rant on chalk. You need to make a video of yourself, look for these things, make yourself a little checklist, and see if you're doing any of these things or these other things incorrectly, because even at your current level, even if you're just a relative beginner, you can fix them now and put in your reps doing it correctly so that it becomes a habit. Have a great day. Watch this video and hit the subscribe button because I think you got something out of this. I'll talk to you later.